money for one fool. Lord of mercy. Baby, should let me love you tonight. Tonight, tonight. Hold you tight, hold you tight. You have the magic. You stole my heart. Oh. That's why I love you. Oh, baby. You got the magic. You stole my heart. Oh. That's why I love you. Oh, baby. I wanna share all I got with you. Right with you. I wanna be one with you. I wanna share all I got with you. Right with you. I wanna be one with you.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. According to UK-based transparency watchdog Chatham House, it is quite reasonable and even considered normal practice in the petroleum industry for countries to engage oil companies in the review and removal of terms contained in deals which may leave the country in a disadvantageous position. In fact, the not-for-profit organization said the refusal to do so can have a destabilizing effect on countries. Chatham House is a non-governmental organization whose mission is to analyze and promote the understanding of major international issues and current affairs. Similarly, the Chatham House said that companies sometimes approach governments to ask for a revision of terms to reduce the taxation or operational obligations they face during periods of economic difficulty. It said as well that over the course of 25 to 30 years, circumstances may change beyond the scope of pre-existing contracts, and broader legislation and government may want to amend the investment terms just as companies do. And in other news, Helixa Inc., one of America's giants in providing technological solutions for the health, water, and green tech industries, recently announced that it has formed a strategic alliance with Vitality Inc., a seasoned Guyanese company led by socially minded entrepreneurs. Following this announcement, it was noted in a missive to the press that an engagement was held with several ministers of Guyana and officials attached to UNICEF. The meeting was organized by Antur Narain, a prominent business leader promoting bilateral relationships between U.S. and Guyanese companies. And moving on, eNetworks Inc., Guyana's only locally owned telecommunications provider, announced yesterday that it is building a fiber optic cable from Georgetown to Linden. This move is the latest in a series of milestones the company has achieved in massively expanding its network to bring better services to more people. With the expansion already in progress, eNetworks said it anticipates delivering a significant boost in connectivity to many rural areas along the Soestdijk-Linden Highway and Linden. The eNetworks team, comprising, among others, Chief Executive Officer Vishak Prasad, Chief Technical Officer Gerald Singh, and Chief Commercial Officer Abu Zaman, visited Linden on Saturday, September 18th. During the visit, they inspected the progress of the expansion, including poles already planted and the ongoing fiber network build-out. In other news, the family of Sigmal Gavaya, a laborer, has been thrown into a state of mourning after learning that he was killed during a brawl at the Vredenhoop Stelling by an unidentified man on Saturday night. His brother Neville Gavaya, a security guard attached to the Stelling, is now left hospitalized as he tried to defend his brother during the incident. According to police reports, the brothers were attacked sometime around 23 hours 15 while at the Vredenhoop Stelling boathouse. And moving on, yesterday, a 27-year-old resident of Sophia survived after he was riddled with bullets by men on a motorcycle who had tried to execute him. Investigators declined to reveal the identity of the victim for security reasons, but related that he had to undergo emergency surgery for the multiple gunshot wounds which he sustained to his body. A police report detailed that the men tried to kill him around just after midnight while he was standing in front of Udingo shop located in the Field Sophia. The motive behind the execution attempt is unknown at this time, but detectives have learned that the gunmen rode up in front of the shop on a red and white motorcycle. They reportedly approached their victim and started an argument with him. And more sad news, Sandrama Raju, a 29-year-old woman who was set on fire by her husband about a week ago, succumbed to her injuries on Saturday around 19 hours. Raju, a lab technician formerly attached to the Skelton Public Hospital and a mother of a 5-year-old girl, was reportedly set alight by her husband, Ganeshwar Kaieteur, following an argument they had on Monday, September 13th, at their home in Port Morant, Berbice. Her parents were alerted about the incident around 12 hours 30 that day by Raju's nephew and had rushed to her home, where they found her badly burnt. She was taken to the hospital, where she was placed in the burn care unit, and doctors battled there to save her life, but they lost the fight on Saturday. Her husband had fled all the way to the United States, but was eventually nabbed on September 15th by American authorities at the John F. Kennedy International Airport and sent back to Guyana. His capture was made possible after Guyanese police relayed intelligence to its American counterpart that a wanted suspect was heading there. Kaieteur has since been placed before the courts and remanded for the heinous act. However, now that she is dead, it is expected that he will be charged with murder. And that's the news of the moment. Remember, to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
I am Glenn Lal, and I have some beautiful things to share with you guys. Guyana, I have said on a program that we should leave our natural resources in the ground and allow only our locals who are making a living out of it to continue to make their living from our natural resources. I am saying that we should drive away all the foreigners that is here, scraping up, raking up, and digging out our diamond, our gold, our bauxite, and our tin.